You know, I'm not a fan of Dan Bongino or Kash Patel, but what I am a fan of is watching them have a front row seat to reality now that they're in charge of the FBI. Because for years now, they've been feeding Magas all types of lies and bullshit. They've been the ones coming up with conspiracies and throwing it out there to the Magas for them to regurgitate at their work or at their home or wherever they hang out. This is what they've been doing. So now that they're in charge of the FBI, they now are seeing what's really going on. And they realize that Democrats are not a part of some big, huge, swamp, deep state conspiracy. They know all this. They've actually known it before they sat down in a seat at the FBI. But they also know, like I say a lot on this channel, how dumb the Magas are. So they've been feeding them all of this. But now that they're actually in the FBI, they can still lie, don't get me wrong, but they can't at the level they were doing when they were just podcasters. So they're sitting down with Maria Bartiromo, right? And she basically wants them to tell her that Democrats have something to do with the assassination attempts on Donald Trump. She wants them to say that. She wants it to be on CNN or ABC or whatever. She wants them to tell her that. So she asks them, are we going to be in shock about all the things you guys are finding out about the assassination attempt? And Dan Bongino is forced to basically tell her no. And he's forced to tell the Magas no. He's forced to tell them, we've been lying to you guys. We've been lying this whole time. All the things we've been saying about Democrats and CNN, the fake news and all that, it's all been lies. And to tell you the truth, they have nothing to do with any of this.
Are we going to be surprised at what you learned?
You know what, Maria? Kash is not kidding. We've been personally briefed extensively on every single detail, nugget, tendril of this case. One is actively in court right now, so out of respect for the case, it's probably more appropriate that I stay quiet on that. However, I'm not going to tell people what they want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth, and whether you like it or not is up to you. If there was a big explosive there, right? Given my history as a Secret Service agent, and my personal friendship as a director does with the president, give me one logical, sensible reason we would not have. If you can think of one, there isn't. There in some of these cases, the there you're looking for is not there. And I know people, I get it. I understand. It's not there. If it was there, we would have told you.
And you see the way he's forced to spoon feed it to them. He's spoon feeding it to them in this way because he himself wishes he were able to say to them that the Democrats were behind this. He wishes he could say that this is a part of the Clinton body count, that this was their scheme, that they were behind this. He wishes he could say that this was the deep state, but he knows that isn't true. He's always known that wasn't true. But when he was a far-right podcaster, when he was out there doing the same stuff all these Magas are doing today, he was okay with lying to them. But now he's like, I'm going to tell you the truth because he's obligated to now. And now he feels bad. I mean, look at him. He's like, I get it. I understand. I wanted it to be the Clintons also. But now that I've seen the files, I've seen it. It's not them. And they've been doing this for years. They're the reason Magas are now saying that they're a part of the deep state. Like Magas are now saying Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, they're in on it also. Because they've fed them so many lies, the Magas believe it, and now they can't believe that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino aren't giving them what they want to hear. Then she asked them about Jeffrey. Did he commit suicide? Or was this the Clintons and everyone else as well? Because remember, they loved that during that whole time, even though Donald Trump was president when he was in custody, even though Donald Trump was president when he died, they want to blame this on the Clintons. And so he was asked about that as well, and listen to what they had to say.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
So Magas, everything that they've been telling you for all these years have been lies. They do this to secure your vote, to secure your money. They are grifters and liars, and you've been falling for it. And now when they're telling you that they've been lying to you, instead of you going, yeah, you know what, we were duped, you're like, no, they must be a part of the deep state. They made up the deep state. They made it up. There is no deep state. There is none of these things they've been telling you. You've just been duped for the fools that they know you are. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in they heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.